Hey guys, Kev here, and I'm doing some cleanup before Blade Show Texas. I'm heading out Wednesday, today's Sunday, and I just want to clear out some of the knives I have in. I've done basically unboxings or full videos on these, so I don't feel like I need to do dedicated things. So let's just talk about some knives, and I'll rant and rave. We'll do the usual stuff. Sound good? All right. So first up, we have a Kaiser. This is the Invictus. So this is the button lock Dam Designs Invictus. And I quite like this knife. I think it's pretty good. I think they did a good job with the button lock. They really seem to be dialing these in. Let me bring it down a little bit, get the angle a little better for us. Yeah, the springs are definitely better. Like, this is a flipper, and I'm not just easily failing it. Like you saw there, I can if I just do that. But if I try, it pops out. And if you're being normal, it feels really good, honestly. And if you give it the old Dirk Warning slap, it definitely fires out. I always find it interesting that knives have this extra little hump over here. And I guess that's just to inset the plunge, but it's just goofy to me to see that all the time. It does have a reversible clip, which is very nice. I appreciate that from Kaiser. And this one's in 154 cm steel. It's stonewash blade. I think Kaiser's dropping their new releases on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know when this is going to go up. I got my unboxing up before Blade Show. This will probably go up, around Blade Show. I don't know. So it might be a few days before, but I wanted to get it up. There'll be links in the description to all these knives. So if you want to pick up any of them, use my links. It does help the channel. You obviously don't have to, but it doesn't cost you anything. And sometimes you save money with the codes down there. I couldn't find any information yet on their website for this, but obviously we know Adrian from Dam Designs. He's, been in the headlines, so to speak, with his customer service, but seems to be trying to repair that. And he's doing these designs with Kaiser. There was the Mad Tanto. I always want to call the Mad Hatter. And now this. And it's very good if you're into his styling, which I'm not. But it's a solid, comfortable, ergonomic knife. Really tall, broad blade. If you're a fan of something like our Divo Growler, because of that tall blade that comes down to a really slicey, thin edge, you're going to have something similar here. Not quite as ergonomic, I would argue, just because you have the choil here, a little bit of contouring with just, I think, a more comfortable grip, but certainly no slouch. You also have the flipper tab, so you can't choke up there. My one kind of big gripe on this knife is probably just that you can see that plunge area right there very, distinctly. And it's a little bit, I don't know. I don't really mind like a detent track showing, but this is just like a hole, and I don't know. Just not my favorite thing, but it is cool. And that is the Invictus from Dam Designs and Kaiser. Probably just going to be this one version. They tend to do like one version of a knife first and see if people like it. But it's possible they do some other ones. But this micarta is really good. We all know Kaiser has some of the best micarta in the game. The next one's from Tuya Knives. So shout out to Dave Warren, my boy over at Tuya Knives. If you know Dave is a great dude and doing cool stuff with Tuya. He's got a storefront now and everything. And this is an SD Knives design, Tuya collaboration. And this is the Shocka. I don't know how to do it. I wasn't that cool in high school. This one's in 20 CV. It's got a DLC belt satin, which is pretty sick if you ask me. And it's got great action. Flicks like a dream. Thumb flicks really nicely. Obviously, you can slow roll it out. It works okay left-handed, especially that thumb flick. If you're looking for the reverse flick, you got to just ride up here on the pivot. A lot of lefties are cool with that. But if you're, one of these guys like me, not going to work too well. You can ride the clip, of course. And it's just a beautiful looking knife. I mean, it's a mean looking knife. I think I said this in the first video. Kind of reminds me of the Brian Brown Warthog design that we all want We all want him to do a mini Warthog production knife. At least by all, I mean me and 3 other people I know. And and this kind of reminds me of it, so it's kind of cool to have that, you know, even though this is somebody else's design, it is different. I wasn't familiar with it before I saw it, so yeah, Tuya Knives, collaboration with SD Knives. Whoops, that's the Bad Habits gentleman, and yeah, it's really good, guys. I highly recommend this. $285 on Tuya's website. You can use my code. I think it's just Lefty or something. It's in the description. And you'll get 5% off, so that does help you some on that. It'll knock off, you know, $15 or so. That's the Shocka from Tuya. The next one, pretty sure I did a full video on this. The Kwo Knives Chad. So the Chad here, I just love that name. Sergio over at Kwo is a wild man, an absolute animal. And when he named this the Chad, he was going after all the Chads. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, this one's cool. It grew on me the more I had it. I'm still not the biggest fan of the blade shape. Just that sort of rounded up nose up there just isn't my style. Ironically, yes, I've talked about that. Anyway, you have this acid-washed PM60 that I know nothing about still. I tried to do some research. I asked like 5 people on live streams and in groups, and nobody has any idea what this stuff is. So all I know is it's very hard. I think that's what she said. They got it at like 68 HRC or something. And I know it's an absolute pain in the dick to manufacture because they're not going to use it again, according to them. So I'm guessing it's also not very stainless because I've only seen it coated, unless I missed one. But it's also really cool, seems like. Probably holds an edge forever. I wouldn't know because I literally did not cut with this knife. That's not my forte. Although I do some cut tests these days, you know what I mean? But I just didn't get around to it with this one. Maybe I'll try to sneak one in before I head out. But I wanted to get this into the pass around. I like to, you know, get them passed around. Those guys will chop them and slice them. It has the milled clip that you can swap to a wire clip, right? Freaking stolen valor over here. No, I'm just kidding. Knife Standards does the same thing. And Kwo's been doing it for a little bit. And I think Giant Mouse does it. So it's just an idea that we all had that I think is great. Although, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think with Divo stuff, we're probably just going to go to the milled clip in those situations. If you're here watching this and you either bought a Stout V2 or you have a knife with both options, please let me know. Have you put the wire clip on? Because I would venture to guess 99% of people are just leaving the mill clip or putting the mill clip on, right? So I don't see the point really in the extra money going into, you know, doing it that way. And you could have a filler tab here, you know, instead of a couple of slots there, you know. Still waiting on somebody to invent the filler tab that pops into this. There's got to be somebody out there that wants to make some money and invents that, and just, it would fit a ton of knives if you did a bead blasted one or something, or a black one, then it would fit carbon fiber ones and bead blasted ones. But some kind of like filler tab that you take this screw out, put it in, it kind of plugs those holes and keeps it flush, and then you put the screw in. It'd be pretty sick, right? That was Said Stevie's idea, by the way, so shout out to Said Stevie. Anyway, Kwo Chad, very cool, very ergonomic. It's a towel handle, obviously, and then you have a Chad blade. It's almost like the S-Towel blade with the towel handle and studs. So it's an S-Towel stud Chad. Okay, very cool. I like it a lot. Next one we have is the Kaiser Justice. The Justice. This one is a big boy, but has great action. They really nailed the D10 on this. The thumb studs are nice and crisp and snappy. I mean, you can see that. Pow! But they don't rip your finger off. And then the flipper tab works excellently. I mean, no issue at all with that. Bam. So I really enjoy that. This one is going to be in 154 N690. Oof. All right, I'm not a big fan of N690. That knocks it down a peg for me a little bit, but a lot of guys have no issue with N690. I just have had bad luck with it rusting and just not being good. But I'm also one of those people that will have one knife with an issue and then claim every knife with that steel sucks. Anyway, the sounds are excellent, right? Listen to that. Excellent sounds. So, that is the Kaiser Justice, large and in charge, comfortable in the hand, reversible clip. Yes, reversible clip. Denim micarta. It comes in a really nice denim micarta pouch. I think I used that for something, actually, so that's not here. But interesting milling. I mean, it's definitely not my style or anything, but it's a very solid knife. Very simple design, I would say, like drop point, you know. Very good Kaiser-y type design. But, man, it's got one of the best actions. Doesn't have any rattle or any of that kind of stuff going on. Has a glass breaker, skull crusher down here if you need that. Yeah, and really good detent. Super crisp on all deployments. Gotta say, shout out to Niet and Azo for this one. All right, gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna do another video with a couple other ones that I wanted to knock out kind of in a group. So the last one here is gonna be another Kaiser, and this is the Beyond. So the Kaiser Beyond is very, very cool. You have this Tanto blade, compound grind, both flats, but compound or dual ground, whatever you want to call it. And just this wild handle design. I mean, it's just very, very cool. And I think that I heard some people compare it to like a Tucson that I'd never seen before. It didn't really look like that to me, but yeah. Apparently, there's some comparisons out there. It's got some really crazy angles on it. I really dig that quite a bit. I love the hole. So she said, I mean, it fires. I don't know if you can hear the acoustics. Just excellent. Almost scary, like almost like screeches at you coming out of there. It's wild. But yeah, overall, I think it's a really cool design. It's comfortable in the hand for how wild it looks. You can choke up like this if you want. And this is another Newt design, I believe, but I don't think it's the same Newt. I think it's a different one. I think maybe that's his first name this time or something. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember seeing on the box. Actually, I have the boxes. So why don't I just tell you? So the Justice is Azo and Newt Hune. And then the... Come on, Kev. We're going to get there someday, some way. The Beyond is Vu Hyun. So not another Newt, another Hyun. See what I mean? You can see how I can get confused, right? And then another person, Nam An. So those two collaborated on this. So we got dual collaborations on two knives this month. So I guess maybe one of those is an N and one of those is an A for Nam An. I don't know. This one's in S35 VN steel. So you get S35, which is a solid steel. You get a really cool lanyard hole. Yeah, not the best left-handed, obviously. You can ride down here if you get low enough. You can get low enough to fire it, and you can ride the pivot and get up here. But anywhere in between, you're in trouble. The action on it is bananas. I mean... very, very good. No lash, no play, no nothing, no rattly, just crazy sounds. Clip is solid, not reversible, but look at that clean show side too. Very, very nice. I like this knife a lot. So those are the knives. Actually, I could throw a couple more in. I have a Drop Bear in S45VN steel here. So this is the S45VN Drop Bear that I put stronger Kunwu springs in. I'm waiting to get some strong ones from Kaiser. This feels pretty good, but when you put stronger springs in, you get that hitch right about here. See how it has to suck it in more, where the weaker springs will just swing down. So if you let go or whatever, you know, you're gonna get hung up. But I mean, that's easy to figure out. You just hold the bar down, right? But it feels good. It's got a good detent on it. I will say, the original Drop Bears I got back last year, the springs came nice and strong. They were on the strongest setting with the strongest springs. I don't know, at some point they started putting the weaker springs in there for some reason. I don't know why, but this feels absolutely wonderful now. This one has S45 and Nebula fat carbon, but another Drop Bear dropping, I should say. We have the BOS Thorton, which I did a video on. This is the Wayne Sharp World design. So you guys can pick these up from BOS. Again, I'll link all this stuff down below, and you can use my links and codes and if you want to. And if you saw that video, you know I really enjoy the handle design and the blade shape on this knife. And I really enjoy the knife overall. I just kind of wish it was a liner lock and maybe in carbon fiber. So when they update it, because I'm sure they will, because this will probably sell well with Wayne's name on it. I would like to see a liner lock or top lock, and then have carbon scales and a different lock. Just because the spring in here is just not, you know, like because of the front flipper, it just, I don't know. It's not all that satisfying. And I would love to see that be more satisfying. But I like the design a whole lot. You know what I mean? Hope that makes sense to you guys. The last one here is the mini Labrador. I did a video on this as well. And I absolutely love this knife to death. I don't know what it is about this thing that I love so much. But it's a little 5th pocket flipper only knife from BOS. And they killed it. This is probably my favorite BOS. And that includes the nightshades. I don't know what it is. Oops. I don't know what it is about it, but man, maybe it's, you know, the fact that, no, never mind. I was going to make a micro penis joke, but I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Yeah, I just love the aesthetic. That drop point blade is beautiful. I mean, just look at the overall outline of this knife. It's absolutely stunning. It's just one of those knives. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you take this knife, and believe it or not, I'm gonna whip this out and compare it. That's what she said. Jeez, Kev. And you take this knife, they just, the lines are so clean, and it's just a beautiful design. It reminds me of the Ferrum Forge Gent, the OG Gent. I really want them to come back with a premium one like that. This definitely needs to be tightened. So let me do that real quick before we start scratching the scale. Yeah, I really would like to see them come back with a like premium version of the what the fuck was it called now? The Gent, the Drop Gent. Remember that thing? I had a carbon fiber one, a rosewood one. I should have kept one. It was one of the best little gentleman's knives. It just has such a beautiful aesthetic. They ruined it when they did a V2. They did like Nitro V and G10 Shadow Bot. It was gross. And we all know we copied it and did the Elementum. But I would love to see the Gent back. But anyway, this is sort of a reminder of that. And I love it. I really do. The mini Labrador is excellent from BOS. So there's a bunch of knives for you. Sorry, didn't realize it was going to be 12 knives. I just started grabbing stuff. Let's see how many we got here. Sheesh. Is that it? Is that all of them? So that's 8 knives. You got the Kwo Chad, the Tuya Shocka, the Kaiser Justice, the BOS Thorton, the Kaiser Beyond, the Kaiser Invictus, Stam Design, the Drop Bear, and the Mini Labrador from BOS. So links are all below. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. And just saying, 8 knives, 20 minutes. I mean, who does knives fast? You know what I'm saying? All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.